we're working with the Coke snowflake. We're starting with a seed triangle that has sides, all three sides of length 6. M is going to be the number of sides, L is the length of each side, and P is the perimeter of the snowflake at each step. So let's start by drawing the seed. Just a little picture over here. It's an equilateral triangle, shaded in. Each side has length 6. So there are 3 sides to this figure. Each side has length 6, which means its perimeter is 18. 3 times 6 is 18. All right, and then in step 1, I put a new equilateral triangle on the middle third of each existing side. Shade those in. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sides. So that's where that 12 comes from. Each side is 2 centimeters because my original sides were 6 and I broke them into thirds. 1, 2, 3 equal pieces, which means each of them has to be 2 now. And then if I have 12 sides, each one's 2 centimeters, my perimeter is 12 times 2 or 24 centimeters. All right, so now for step 2, I'll draw one more and then we'll come up with patterns. For step 2, we're going to put an equilateral triangle on the middle third of each existing side. So I've got one here, here, okay, so how many sides does my snowflake now have? I'm going to start at the top and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48 sides. Okay, so over here under step 2, I'm going to put a 48 for the number of sides. Each side is going to have a length, well, let's see. The length of each side in my previous step was 2, and now I've broken it into thirds. 1 third, 2 thirds, 3 thirds. So a third of 2 is 2 thirds. So each side has to be 2 thirds centimeters. And then my perimeter is going to be the number of sides times the length of each side. So 48 times 2 thirds. And we get 32 as the perimeter. Okay, so now we're getting to a point where if I'm going to add another step onto my snowflake, my triangles are going to get really small and hard to keep track of. So instead of drawing the next step, I'm going to use a pattern. I'm going to look at my pattern under the M column and say, oh, look, each time I go forward a step, the number of sides increases by a factor of 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. 48 times 4 is 192. 192 times 4 is 768. And then I could keep multiplying by 4 over and over and over again until I have reached step 40, though that would be difficult to keep track of. So instead, I'm going to say, well, I started with 3. I want to multiply by 4 40 times. So this is going to be 3 times 4 to the 40th. Because 4 to the 40th means times 4 40 times. All right, so that fills in my column for M. Now my column for L, I'm going to look for a pattern. And I say, oh, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 divided by 3 is 2 thirds. 2 thirds divided by 3 is 2 ninths. 2 ninths divided by 3 is 2 27ths. And then for step 40, I would say, well, I started with 6, and I divided by 3 40 times. All right, and then my perimeter is the number of sides times the length of each side. So 192 times 2/9, 42 2/3, 768 times 2/27, 56 8/9. And then if for the last one, I want to give my answer to the nearest kilometer here. So I have to multiply number of sides times the length of each side. So I'm going to have the 3 times the 6 is 18. And then I'm multiplying by 4 and dividing by 3, which is multiplying by 4/3, 40 times. So 18 times 4/3 to the 40th is going to give me my perimeter in centimeters. And if I divide that by 100, I get meters. And divide that by 1,000, I get kilometers. So I have 17 to the nearest kilometer, so this would be about 18 kilometers. All right, so for part B, for the snowflake attained at step N, express M, L, and P in terms of N. So I want formulas now. So now I want the number of sides at step N. Well, I would say that I'm starting with 3 sides and multiplying by 4 over and over. So I would do 3 times 4 n times. Multiply by 4 n times. So 3 times 4 to the n. And L sub n, the length of each side, I would say, well, I'm starting with a length of 6, and I'm dividing by 3 or multiplying by 1/3. Those are the same thing, n times. And for perimeter, my perimeter starts at 18, and then I'm multiplying by 4/3 n times. You could also come up with perimeter. You'll get the same formula, but an alternative way of coming up with this is to do m sub n times L sub n. Multiply your 3 and your 6 together and you get 18. And then multiply your 4 and your 1/3 and you get 4/3 to the n.